Hello, dear empath. Are the holidays approaching and you're starting to feel a little overwhelmed, perhaps? Are you experiencing more stress, more anxiety, perhaps more sadness? Perhaps certain memories come back and you have this longing and this sense of nostalgia. Are you worried how the holidays are going to go? How you're going to be interacting with certain family members? Are you worried about the drama that could happen or that happens every year? Are you concerned about being around certain people who seem like they're sucking your energy or are very overpowering and very, very strong energies and personalities that you don't really love being around? Well, if you resonate with any of that, and if you are an empath, then this video is for you. I'm going to share my favorite tips to survive the holidays as an empath. So let's get right into it. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, the Whole Wellness Method YouTube channel. I am so glad you're here. And if you're new to my channel, an extra welcome to you. I am Lita Sportel. I'm a licensed psychotherapist and a functional health coach. And today I want to give you my very favorite tips that I'm personally practicing, that I'm professionally helping my clients practice, especially during the holidays and especially for empaths. So this is the Empath Survival Guide during the holidays to equip you with all that you need to actually have fun during these holidays and not feel drained, not feel overwhelmed, not feel sick, not feel stressed out, not feel sad and depressed, not feel isolated, not feel like you're absorbing everybody else's feelings and dramas and other experiences that people tend to have, especially during the holidays. So this video is going to be packed with practical tips. Let's get right into it. And please stay till the very end because I'm going to give you a resource that you can download for free to access all the tips that I'm talking about here. And before we get started, have you subscribed to my YouTube channel? Do so right now and hit the bell button so you can get notified every time I post a new video. Now let's get started. The holidays can be a challenging time, especially for empaths, but it doesn't have to be this way. But here's some of the experiences that my clients are telling me they have been experiencing, some of the things that I've experienced, some of the things that you might be experiencing. So you might be feeling the sensory overload, especially when you are around a lot of other people, extended family members that you don't necessarily get to see the rest of the year. You might be feeling that you're absorbing a lot of the energies around you, the emotions that other people have, even the physical symptoms that other people have. You might start to be sensing these in your body. I have a quiz for you specifically to see if you are an empath. So it might be a good time that you perhaps pause this video or you finish this video and then you take this quiz to really see if you are an empath. But what I'm talking about right now is really absorbing emotionally or physically what the other person is experiencing. As empaths, there is science actually that shows that we have very hyperactive mirror neurons. These are neurons in our brain. And stay with me here, just a bit of science for you to help you understand what you might be experiencing. Are the neurons that are mirroring what the other person is experiencing. And when we have very activated mirror neurons, what happens is that we're extra compassionate. We're feeling that empathy, but not just I empathize with you. I'm also taking on, I'm absorbing in my body, in my emotional and physical experience, and mentally, I'm starting to absorb what you're feeling. And again, it's not just what you're feeling, it could be physical symptoms, it could be energetic stuff that we can't even actually say how we feel. It's just energy that gets absorbed because we are like a sponge. So it is important to know if you are an empath, and if you are one, what to do to avoid the sensory overload, especially during the holidays, to avoid absorbing other people's experiences, especially the negative stuff, the drama, the criticism, the fighting, the arguing, the comparing, all the things that happen in most families. And one of the experiences that a lot of empaths have after the holidays or after a big party is that they feel completely drained. And that was my experience, feeling completely depleted, feeling like I've given myself away so much that at the end of the day, I really don't even know who I am anymore. And physically, I feel completely exhausted. Yet at the same time, I'm also feeling wired, like my nervous system is really heightened. So it's like that wired but tired experience. That can be very annoying, especially when you're trying to have a vacation, a holiday that you can enjoy, time with family, wanting to connect, wanting to be yourself and just enjoy things. As empaths, we're also very sensitive to criticism, and we're very sensitive to conflict, and we're very sensitive to judgment. So we will do things just to please others or just to not make any waves and to not disturb the peace. So we might say yes to things that we really want to say no to. We will agree with certain things that we really, if we were to really ask ourselves in our hearts, we would actually disagree with. We will not speak our truth. We will not actually say what we want to say in fear of disappointing others, in fear of letting others down, in fear of being judged or criticized by others. Especially if you grew up in a family where you were criticized, where you weren't treated in a nice, loving, kind way, like an empath really wants to be treated. You might be even extra sensitive to these kinds of things. So, in an effort to not experience that criticism again, you're really giving yourself away. You're really not being yourself, even. And the result again is feeling depleted, feeling drained, feeling sick, feeling anxious, feeling overwhelmed, feeling like you don't matter, feeling like you don't fit in. And that's a big one, feeling like you don't fit in, even with your own family. That can make us really feel so isolated and that we don't belong. And it's a feeling that I experienced for so many years. And it's part of the reason why I'm doing these videos and I'm helping my clients because of how painful that was for me. So, enough with all that. Let's talk about ways that you can actually practice this holiday season, but really any time during the year, to ground yourself, shield yourself, and to set healthy boundaries so that you can honor and be yourself. So, the first tip is breath and boundaries. And we're going to follow an acronym that I'm going to put together at the end for you. And I'm also going to give you a free resource, but bear with me as we're getting this started. So, breath and boundaries. It is very, very, very important as an empath that you know how to set healthy boundaries and that you use breath. And what I do is I put hands on heart and I just breathe deeply and I imagine this field around me that delineates where my energy field is and where the other person's is. One of the most important things to remember is the law of no trespassing. One of the universal laws of no trespassing says that this is my energy, this is your energy, and we don't need to be trespassing each other's energy. What happens in codependent relationships, but also as empaths, is we're so open. Our energetic field is so open that we're like, come on, bring on any energy that you have. I'm open. I'm like a sponge. I don't know what boundaries are. I don't know what limits are. Just come on and bring it on. And we are especially drawing to us those energies that are a little bit more on the negative side. Yes, we're open to those positive energies as well, but for some reason, we tend to be more attracted to those energies that are going to make us feel like we're losing ourselves. So, one of the things that I've heard from Dr. Judith Orloff, this amazing psychiatrist who has done incredible research in the field of empaths, she says to titrate how open you are with others. So there's times for you to be open to soak in the energy of nature, the energy of love, of connection, of community, of empathy. But there's certain other times that you don't need to be so open. And I don't mean open-minded. I don't mean open in ways that are going to help you grow. I mean open in terms of your energy field. You have a choice to make when you want to be so open that you absorb and feel what's going on around you, and when you decide to kind of close these imaginary energetic fields and say no, and say, that's it, that's just as far as I'm going to extend myself. So don't forget you have a choice. And don't forget to use breathing, deep breathing, diaphragmatic breathing to help you envision these boundaries around you and to take some alone time, take a break from everything that's going on, to regroup yourself and to reground yourself. And that is especially important if people around you are experiencing intense emotions. So if they're feeling sadness, if they're feeling a lot of anxiety, if they're worried about certain things, If they're very negative and they have all these thoughts and all these things that they're expressing and they're emanating this energy that just feels so heavy and so negative, you need to be an advocate for yourself. You need to be caring for yourself in that moment with healthy boundaries and with breath. The next tip is E, emotional freedom technique and energy. Emotional freedom technique, I've been sharing this a lot in my videos. And if you check out my other videos, you will see actual exercises that I am demonstrating to you how to do this. But really quickly, you can just tap here in the thymus gland and say really positive affirmations. Just tap right here and say very, very positive affirmations, which is another one of my tips that I'm going to share with you. And you can just go in the bathroom and repeat some of these affirmations to really, again, help you shield yourself, energetically speaking, shield yourself, and remember who you are and who the other person is. Ask yourself, is what I'm feeling and experiencing mine? Does it really need to be my experience? Or is this something that somebody else is experiencing? And even if it's my own mother, or my own father, or my dear spouse, or my child that I love so much, it still doesn't need to be my experience too. So that was tip number 2, emotional freedom technique. The third tip is meditation, music, and movement. Taking some time for yourself to do some really good meditations, especially during the holidays, and especially if you're an empath, can really help you return to yourself, return within, and return to your higher self. I use meditation all the time with my clients and myself every single day. Movement and music. Put on some music that you like, and that helps your energy field to feel more uplifted. What is the kind of music that helps you feel good? What is the music that helps raise your vibration? Find that and play that kind of music. And movement is very important. It's very important as empaths that we don't stay stagnant physically, that we actually move, because by moving physically, we also move the energy in our body and out of our bodies. So, again, find ways that are meaningful to you to do the movement, whether that's with a sport or with just a little bit of yoga exercises or some stretches or Pilates or just taking a walk, being in nature. And speaking about being in nature, earthing, grounding, feeling the connection with the earth is very, very healing, especially for empaths. Now let's move on to our next tip. The fourth tip is awareness and affirmations. So I want you to be aware of your thoughts. How do you talk to yourself? What are the thoughts you're thinking? It is very, very important as empaths that we have that self awareness and that we know what it is that's going on up here. What are those thoughts that we're having? Especially when those thoughts are not even our thoughts and are thoughts that we have absorbed over the years from our parents, from society, from friends, from family, and now they have become our thoughts. And then we want to replace these thoughts with affirmations. I have a list of different affirmations that you can find if you download my free resource that I have for today's video. Yes, I did tell you there was a surprise at the end, but I couldn't help myself. So check out in the description, I have a free resource for you, a free download that you can find all these tips that I'm discussing here, and you can also dive deeper into these particular tips and the affirmations. Also have some videos coming up with affirmations that you'll find also in my YouTube channel. I really like affirmations. I've used them for many, many years. And what I find, especially with my clients that are empaths, is that when they find themselves really extending themselves out to help others and to try to solve certain situations that are happening in their family, they end up really trying to fix the other person instead of, again, coming within, using these affirmations and realizing that we're not here to fix others. We're not here to change others. Yes, we can help others, but we're not here to fix. And that is a trap that a lot of empaths and people pleasers fall into. So if you're a highly sensitive person, an empath, a starseed, an introvert, a healer, a coach, a therapist, a people pleaser, a perfectionist, it's very tempting for us, especially when we see our loved ones suffer or people that we really care for, and we see them feeling not good or sad or suffering or dealing with whatever it is that they're dealing with. It's very tempting for us to want to go and rescue them. So it is important that we stay open and we stay open to our heart center that we want to extend to others and love others and help others. But we also again understand where is my energy ending and where is your energy starting, and that those boundaries don't become enmeshed and very, very blurry. One of the things I remind myself of is that the best way I can actually help others is to be a mirror for others for who they can be as well. And it took me a long time to do this because I was really absorbing other people's suffering, my family's suffering, and my ancestors' suffering until I learned that the actual best way to help others is to turn within, is to let my higher self guide me, and then to be a mirror for others for who they can be too, that they can do the same. So, affirmations is a great way to help you tune into what I'm discussing right now. The fifth tip is journaling. And I really love journaling because it really helps you process whatever is going on. So, if during the holidays a lot of thoughts are coming up for you, a lot of memories, a lot of emotions, a lot of struggles, anxieties, fears, worries, sadness, isolation, feeling like you don't fit in, anything that comes up for you, use journaling to help you process that. It can be really, really powerful. And if you don't know how to do journaling, again, download my free resource and you're going to learn more about it. The next tip is integration. I am all about whole wellness. I am all about holistic wellness, mind, body, spirit. So, just as much as you want to take care of your energy field and your psychological self and your mental, emotional health and your spiritual health, you also want to take care of your body. So, physically, are you nurturing your body with the right foods? Are you taking supplements to support yourself, especially during the holidays? Are you using essential oils that can really help you emotionally, but also physically? What kind of self care are you doing for your body? And are you getting restful sleep? That's another huge one, again, especially during the holidays. So, integration, and again, I'm going to give more resources in my free guide. We have 3 more tips left, and the next one is community. Some of my clients do not have this feeling of community with any of their family members. Yet they are part of other communities, including my whole wellness membership community, that they really feel that sense of belonging, that they really feel that they finally fit in. They're finally understood. They're finally surrounded by other like minded individuals. So even if in your own family you don't feel like you fit in and you don't feel like they get you, and you don't feel like they relate to you in the way that you desire, and you don't feel that they even understand what it means to be an empath. I get it that you might feel alienated by your family, but don't stop there. Seek for the community that you feel will resonate with you. And one thing I want to share from my personal experience is that for years I could not understand why I didn't like certain activities that other family members were doing that felt really stimulating for me. Things that they would love to do, and most of them would love to do, and not be like more on the quiet side. I would love to read a book. I would love to have a nice discussion, a deep discussion with them. I would love to watch a movie and then discuss about the movie. I would love to cook and have a nice family dinner. I would love to go on a nice, beautiful walk in nature. I would love to do certain things that others didn't seem to be as interested in. And the things and the stimulation that they needed to feel like, oh, we had a good time, was just not my sense of this was a good time. So I struggled with that for many, many years until again I realized that as an empath, and for most empaths, we don't need as much of that external stimulation. And there's actual science again backing this up. And that is that most empaths don't have as much need for the dopamine neurotransmitter. So we know dopamine is a neurotransmitter that helps us feel pleasure and excitement and that sense of reward. I had a good time. Well, as empaths, we don't need a lot of dopamine to feel this sense of completion, to feel this sense of that was good, that was fun. We can get that feeling just by being in nature and looking at a tree, or again, having a nice conversation, a nice heartfelt conversation. So that's all we need. Whereas other people need more stimulating activities to get that dopamine rush or that adrenaline rush. They need more external stimulation to feel that sense of pleasure. So again, back to community. If that's not you, I'm not saying don't be with your family, but I'm saying use all these tips that I'm sharing with you to honor who you are and to understand yourself and to know that you don't need necessarily the things that others need. And that is okay. That is more than okay. That is perfect. That is who you are. Okay, and the last 2 tips are awaken and let go. And these are my favorite tips because they really are about awakening to who you truly are, awakening to your spiritual connection, to your higher self, to God, to the universe that is constantly supporting you, constantly guiding you, constantly pointing you to, hey, you need to go more over here because that's how you're honoring yourself more. Hey, I don't want you to be going over here. Go over here. There's so much pain and so much misery and so much suffering over here. Let's go over here where things are flowing, where things are easier, where things are kinder and gentler. So follow the guidance of the universe, awaken to that. And then the final is let go. Let go of all the things that no longer serve you. Let go of the thoughts that no longer serve you. Let go of the emotions that are holding you back. Let go of the energies that are not yours. Let go of people pleasing. Let go of perfectionism. Let go of rescuing and fixing others. Let go of all hurts and traumas and betrayals and abandonments. And I know just by saying this, I'm opening a whole other conversation that I'm going to have future videos on. So stay tuned and subscribe to my YouTube channel because there's more coming up for you. And like I said, download in the description below. I will have a link to download the free guide with the 9 tips to help you as an empath and to put all these tips into practice, especially during the holidays. And if you are looking to stay connected to me and to have interactions with me and other like-minded individuals just like you, and a community filled with empaths, then I would love, love, love to welcome you inside the Whole Wellness membership community. I will also put a link below so you can learn more about this wonderful space that we have. And until next time, leaving you in whole wellness. Bye-bye.